Today's vodcast, V36, begins on slide 194 and goes through slide 214. It's entitled Using Numerical and Algebraic Expressions and Equations. This lesson is going to build on our last lesson where we created expressions and equations from words. We're going to do the same thing here. We're going to use a variable to show an unknown and a constant as any fixed amount. Sometimes there are going to be two separate unknowns, and the key is going to be to relate them to each other. Here's our first example. The school cafeteria sold 225 chicken meals today. They sold twice the number of grilled chicken than chicken tenders. How many of each were sold? So, this is a word problem, and we all love word problems. Something that's going to help us out is highlighting and underlining. So I highlighted. If you don't have a highlighter, you can underline. We know that there are 225 chicken meals in all, and they sold twice the number of grilled chicken as they did chicken tenders. So we have two separate unknowns here. We have grilled chicken and chicken tenders. We know that the grilled chicken is twice the number of the chicken tenders, but we don't know anything about the chicken tenders. So we're going to make that our variable, and we're going to call that C. Make sure you write this in down here. So chicken tenders is C. Grilled chicken is twice the number of chicken tenders, so we'll call that 2C. Twice, 2 times the amount of chicken tenders. So we know that if you add them together, you get 225. So take a look at our example over here. C plus 2C equals 225. We're going to solve it just like our multi-step equations. You can combine these two to become 3C. Now it's a one-step. We divide both sides by C and get C equals 75. Now we need to look back here to remember what C represented. C is the number of chicken tenders. So right here I want you to write the number. So chicken tenders is C, that's 75. Grilled chicken is 2 times C, so we want to multiply 2 times 75, which they did for us up here, gives us 150 grilled chicken sandwiches. And you always want to go back and make sure you've answered the question. So in the question it says, how many of each were sold? So we answered the question by saying 75 chicken tenders and 150 grilled chicken. But sometimes they'll only ask for one or the other, so you want to make sure that you're reading the question. Let's try another one. Julie is matting a picture in a frame. Her frame is 9.5 inches wide and her picture is 7 inches wide. They want to know how much matting she should put on either side. I drew a picture because I'm not sure how familiar you are with framing. So if this black line is our frame around here, it's 9.5 inches wide. But the painting itself is only 7 inches wide. So we want to put some matting around the picture. We don't know how much, but we know that we want it to be the same amount on each side. So I labeled them both M. So M plus 7 plus another M should give us 9.5. They simplified us one more step. So instead of doing M plus 7 plus M, they did 2M plus 7 should give us 9.5. And they solved it over here just like a two-step equation. Subtract the 7, the 7's cancel out, so we have 2M equals 2 1/2. Divide both sides by 2, you get 1 1/4 inches on